It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. Here we are in our 33rd year in Prince George's schools and the first taping this year of elementary students. Let's meet the teams right now. First, would you please welcome from Northview Elementary, Emily Gibbles, Glenda Narte, and Michelle McRufus. And from Scotchtown Hills Elementary, say hello to Fiona Brady, Annie Newen, and Chase Atwater. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing, and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty, with the easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10 points, the tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points. Never any penalties for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds today, one of these 2 good-looking, talented teams will come back to play again for the chance to move ahead in our elementary school competition. Let's go over and make sure everything works properly before we start. Let's go to that red team. And Glenda, would you push that buzzer for me? It looks and sounds good. Good luck to you and to Emily and to Michelle. And Annie, how about the green teams? A-OK as well. Good luck to you, to Fiona and Chase. It's so nice to have you all here today. You are great ambassadors for your school. You look good, and I know we're going to have a good game here. And just congratulations for being chosen to represent your school. That's an honor. You've won already. Let's have a good game. N comes before S. We go alphabetically. So, Glenda, let's play the bowl. Category and a number, please.
Green things for 10, please.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, if you're a gardener, you know that if you deadhead a plant, you are removing one of these that is no longer growing to promote more growth. If you deadhead a plant, what do you take off, Northview?
Buds.
Not the bud. Good try. If you deadhead a plant, what are you removing from that plant? Scotchtown Hills. Lots of conversation over there. Annie?
The roots?
The flower, the dead flower. You take the dead flower off, and that spurs the plant to make some new flowers. Try again, green. Excuse me, red.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points. Look at the monitor in the studio, if you would, please. And teams, you know, Dr. Seuss went on a safari years ago to Kenya, and he saw these papas monkeys, and he came back and he wrote a book and he drew a creature based on that monkey, a creature that spoke for the trees because the trees have no tongues. Scotchtown Hills.
The Lorax.
The Lorax, yeah. Can you see the resemblance there? Yeah, there's a resemblance. That's where he got the idea for the Lorax. Nicely done. Go, Annie.
Science Potpourri for 5.
Science Potpourri for 5 points. You know, we hear a lot today about fake news. Well, there's nothing fake in saying that sucralose is a fake form of this sweet stuff that we like to put on cereal and so much else. Glenda.
Sugar.
Sugar, yeah. Sucralose is fake sugar. No calories, so they say. Go red.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, if something is very expensive, like a new iPhone that you want, it's said to cost you these 2 body parts. You're going to have to pay a blank and a blank for it, Annie.
A kidney and an eye.
Oh my goodness, kidney and eye, that is a high price, yeah, but there's two other body parts that often are said to cost you. It's going to cost you a blank and a blank. An arm and a leg, an arm and a leg. Try again, red.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. All right, teams, two-part answer. You know, hard water isn't ice. Hard water is water that has a lot of minerals in it. And two of the most common minerals in hard water have the chemical symbols Ca and Mg. What chemicals are they? Ca and Mg. Ca is calcium. Mg is magnesium. If you studied the periodic table at all before you came on this show, you would have seen those symbols. It's like H and O and S and He. Hopefully you did that before you came here today. Go red.
Daylight science for 10.
Daylight science for 10 points. Teams, back in 1628, long before either of us was born, there was a scientist called William Harvey. And he looked through a microscope and he had a goldfish, a live goldfish. He put the tail of the goldfish under the microscope and he looked and he saw that blood actually did this. Think about what he might have seen. He's looking at a tail of a live goldfish. He's looking at the blood in the tail. Way back then, he was the first person to see that blood did what? It moved. It circulated. Up to that time, people didn't know that blood moved around. They thought it was just kind of pooled up in the body somewhere. Okay, try again, Glenda.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, if you like the movie The Incredibles like I do, you know that Violet Parr, the daughter, she can do it all. She can become invisible. She can create force fields around herself. She can turn off gravity and she can levitate. I'm going to give you the points if you can spell levitate. You're going to float in the air as if gravity weren't there. You're going to levitate like Violet. Who's going to be my speller, Scotchtown Hills? Annie says, I'll do it. All right, take your time. Say the word for me.
Levitate.
Yes.
L-E-V-I-T-A-T-E.
Give her the points. Nicely done. Good job. All right, go. Annie.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, 12 new moons were recently found around this planet, raising its total to 79. So not only is it the biggest planet, it has the most moons. Come on, Scotchtown.
Jupiter.
Yeah, Jupiter's that big one up there. Go. Ooh, the buzzer says we've come to the end of the first round. Our score is Northview 55, Scotchtown 85. We'll be back and we'll tell you a little bit about our players and we'll play round 2. Don't go away. And welcome back to Science Bowl. 2 great elementary schools playing our game today, and it's been a little slow the first round here, but it takes a while for a lot of these young people to get their sea legs. For most of them, this is their first time here, and they're doing a wonderful job. Let's find out about each one of them. Let's go to Northview Elementary first. School over there in Bowie and Glenda. The Northview team, for as many years as you've been coming here, and it's been many years, you always wear those white lab coats. That's your signature. Do you get to keep those coats, Glenda?
No, it's a rental.
They're just props for today. Well, they work because they identify you as great students and great scientists. Who's your principal, Glenda?
Mr. Simmons.
Mr. Simmons. He's out there rooting for you. And you have 2 coaches, don't you?
Yes.
Who are they?
Miss Grove and Mr. Moffitt.
Yes, and Elizabeth and Bruce, thank you for all the work you've done over the years. You've been such a support to the Science Bowl here. And any alternates on your team, Glenda?
Yes, Ryan and Tyler.
And they're out there right now, and they'll be out in just a few moments with both of your coaches. We want to give them some FaceTime here as well. Tell me something about Northview that you think everybody at home should know because it's just so great.
The great thing about Northview is the teachers. They like to make learning fun, and they give us great experiments.
Wow. You said the key thing there, they make learning fun, because if learning isn't fun, you're not going to learn. You know, you want to get in there and they have to make it attractive and meaningful to you. And speaking about meaningful, what do you hope to do someday? What gives meaning to your life? You want to be was it a veterinarian?
Nurse.
Nurse, yes. Why a nurse?
Because I like to help people right now, and when I grow up, I get to take care of people and help them even more.
And we need nurses desperately, good nurses, and something tells me you're going to be one. What do you do in your spare time, Glenda?
I like to read, sing, and play my violin.
Yeah. How long have you played the violin?
I just started last year.
Yeah. It looks like a difficult instrument to master, but I'm sure you're going to do just fine. Michelle, nice to have you here. You're a cook, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you like to cook?
Sometimes I make special stews, and sometimes I'll go to my mom and see what she's cooking. She asks me to help her around the kitchen.
Yeah, so you're learning from the master there. So a special stew, huh? You're not going to share that secret with us. That's your trade secret. What do you want to do when you get older?
When I get older, I want to be a technician, but still do like drawing on the side and be an artist.
Yeah, because you told me you're a very creative side, and you like to draw, and that's always going to serve you well, your creative outlet there. And Emily, tell us about yourself. What do you do in your spare time?
I like to read most of the time.
Yeah. What kind of books do you like? Because I was asking you that before.
I like The Land of Stories and The Secret Garden.
Secret Garden, okay. And someday you're going to be?
A marine biologist.
Marine biologist. How'd you get interested in that?
Well, I really like the water and ocean animals.
Yeah. Have you ever been scuba diving or snorkeling? You're going to have to do that. We've got to get you to Florida somehow, get you to do that. Scotchtown Hills, nice to have you here. Annie, nice to have you back again. Tell us the Annie story and the Scotchtown Hills story. Who's your principal?
My principal is Miss Prevost.
Absolutely. And sponsors of your team?
Miss Taylor and Miss Harvey.
Wonderful. And they're out there. They've worked so hard to get you ready. And Jennifer and Jessica, thank you for all the work that you have done too. Any alternates on your team, Annie?
Yes, Rhea and Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob has the nice red tie. He's going to model for us in just a couple minutes here. You guys look good in your matching red, just like we got the matching white coats over here. Tell me something about Scotchtown Hills that you're proud of.
I'm proud that our teachers work really hard to keep us and make us have a great education.
Absolutely right. And they do work hard because they prepare lessons every night, and they come in and they don't think about themselves. They're always thinking about you. What do you want to do, Annie, yourself?
When I grow up, I want to be a veterinarian.
Yeah, we were talking about that. You have a dog and a cat, and Fiona has a dog and a cat, and Chase has a dog. Yes, the symmetry just ended right there. Annie, nice to have you here today. Fiona, tell us, do you want to be a veterinarian?
No, I would like to be a pilot.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Tell people the story about why you want to do it.
In college, my mom had the idea about learning how to be a pilot, but she never carried through with it. So I wanted to do it for her.
How nice. Yeah, you're picking up on her dream. I know how proud she must be of you. What do you do in your spare time, Fiona?
I cook and I read.
What do you like to read?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Very good. Very good. Chase, tell us about your dog.
My dog is named Logan. He's a
Yeah.
Havanese. He's from Cuba.
Oh, I see. And do you take good care of your dog?
Yes.
I bet you do. Would you like to be a veterinarian someday?
Yes.
Yes. See, somehow I knew. You have that nice manner. I like to watch Dr. Paul on TV, who takes care of all those farm animals. There's just something about him. The animals seem to sense that they're in good hands. What do you like to do in your spare time?
I like to read and swim.
And swim. And you like to swim anywhere, you told me, right?
Yes.
Lake, ocean, pond, creek. Give me some water. All right, let's get back to the game. Scotchtown Hills 85, Northview 55. Last correct answer came from the green team. So Annie, where next?
Zoo Parade for 5.
Zoo Parade for 5 points. Teams homing pigeons, birds that can find their way home, do not have one of these on a cell phone or in their car, but maybe a little bit of iron in their beak that acts like a magnet. What don't they have to give them directions, Northview?
Compass?
GPS.
GPS?
Yeah, a compass or a GPS. Absolutely right. Yeah, the beak kind of acts like a compass, but obviously they don't have a GPS. Somehow they're able to do it without it. Go, red. Come on, Glenda.
Dateline Science for 15.
Dateline Science for 15 points. Teams recently, they recalled some goldfish crackers. You know those little cheese crackers? Because they said there was salmonella in there on a milk product. That milk product was probably familiar to you from a nursery rhyme that goes, little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet eating her curds and Northview? Whey, yeah. The whey powder is where the salmonella bacterium was. That's why they recalled it. Good answer, young lady. Go, Glenda.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Multiple choice question. Teams, if you get conjunctivitis, which I hope you never do, you won't be able to go to school because it's contagious. Is it otherwise known as cauliflower ear, club foot, or pink eye? Scotchtown Hills.
Pink eye?
Yeah, pink eye. That's conjunctivitis and very contagious, and it looks bad, and it does go away, but it's nasty. All right, you hit the century mark, 100 points. Go, Annie.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline science for 5 points. Teams, this is a geography question. Recently, Hurricane Florence came and hit North Carolina. Well, like all Atlantic Ocean hurricanes, it started out its life off the coast of what continent way to the east? All right, Northview. Hurricanes are birthed off the coast of what continent? What you got?
Australia?
Not Australia. Good try. Scotchtown Hills, off the coast of what continent to our east is where Atlantic hurricanes are birthed, where they start?
Asia?
Africa. Africa, off the coast of Africa. All the dust from the Sahara provides all the little nuclei for the water to start to congeal, and that's where it all starts. Go again, green.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, this body part is either an innie or an outie. Northview?
Belly button.
Your belly button, that's right, or your navel. Go red.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. This will tie the game if you get it right. Green things for 20 points. You know, not many young people like you want to grow up to be a horticulturist. Hortus is a Latin word that means one of these, as in the nursery rhyme, Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your blank grow? What is it, the thing where you have your vegetables and your flowers and you tend it, Scotchtown?
Garden?
Yes, garden. A garden culturist, a horticulturist. Well done. Good listening. Go green.
Zoo parade for 10.
Zoo parade for 10 points. All right, teams, listen carefully now. What same word means an animal cleaning itself for another animal, or one half of the couple at a wedding about to take their vows?
Groom.
A groom. I can see the light bulb go on over there. Absolutely right. Animals groom each other. You know, sometimes they pick ticks off and they eat them for somebody else, or they eat their own. And then the groom and the bride. Good. Green.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, I know you have never done this, but you know, some people pee in the pool. And if they do that, even though your urine is sterile, it will mix with this disinfecting chemical,
Chlorine.
Northview?
Chlorine.
Chlorine, and form something called trichloramides, which cause that irritation when you're swimming without your goggles on. I know you don't pee in the pool. Go red.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, you know, we've seen pictures of those algae blooms off the coast of Florida. It's awful. A lot of fish are dying because the algae at night, when they're not photosynthesizing, they're respiring, and they're taking all of this gas out of the water, and the fish die, Northview.
Oxygen.
Oxygen, that's right. Thank you, Emily. Good assist there. Go, red.
Science potpourri for 20.
I'm sorry?
Science potpourri for 20.
Science potpourri for 20 points. All right, teams. If you've studied your root words, your prefixes and your suffixes, you'll know the answer to this. There's a group of dinosaurs that was known as the Ornithischian dinosaurs, like from the word ornithology. They're called that because they resemble what modern day creatures that dinosaurs descended from. You've seen the Jurassic Park movies, you know this.
Reptiles?
Not reptiles. Ornithischian dinosaurs. They're called that because they resembled what modern day creatures. They have hips just like what modern day creatures. Yeah. No. No. What you got, Glenda? Say, what's on your mind? Correct answer is birds. Birds. If you remember the opening scene in Jurassic World, there was that foot, and you thought it was a dinosaur, but it was a bird. It was a raven. Dinosaurs descended from birds. Go, Red. You're 25 points down. Let's go.
Dateline Science for 20.
Dateline Science for 20 points is a visual question. Look at the monitor, please, in the studio. Teams, the scientist there, the doctor in the white coat is Dr. Walter Reed. There's a hospital here in Washington named for him. He discovered a vaccine for something called yellow fever, which is spread by the bite of a mosquito. You see him there tending to people who were building a canal down in Central America about 100 years ago. Name the canal that America was building so ships could go from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific. It's the Panama Canal, the Panama Canal. Go again, Red.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25. All right, this is a numerical answer. Numerical answer. How many of you have ever eaten a seedless watermelon? You don't have to spit out any seeds. There's no black seeds in it. A seedless watermelon is sterile, meaning it cannot reproduce because it has an uneven number of chromosomes. It has a triploid number, meaning it has how many? There's a clue in the word. Northview.
Triple?
You-
3?
3, absolutely right. It has 3, so you can't divide 3 up. You have 1 or 2, but you have to have an even number. 2 splitting into 1 and 1, or 4 splitting into 2 and 2. Okay, Red, good guess. We've tied the score, 130. Okay, Glenda, way to go.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20 points. All right, multiple choice question. Big words. Listen, listen. Bumblebees, honeybees, they are not native to America. They were brought here from other countries, which means they are non-indigenous, non-eponymous, or non-matriarchal. Big words. Non-indigenous, non-eponymous, or non-matriarchal, since they don't come from here.
Non-indigenous?
Yes, ma'am. First one. Good answer. Go. You knew that. Go.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. All right, teams. A lot of you are readers. If you have a book and it's an arboreal mystery book, you're trying to find out who killed these green things. An arboreal murder mystery. Who killed all the whats? All the trees. Arbor means trees. Arboreal. Arboreal animals. A word you should remember. Go green.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. All right. Teams, minus 273 degrees Celsius or 0 degrees Kelvin is known as absolute what? Scotchtown Hills.
Absolute 0.
It is absolute 0. Thank you, Fiona. Yes, indeed. Go green.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. All right, teams, your question is, this is a very interesting question because a lot of people confuse these things. Taste is really something that your body uses to detect nutrients like sugars and fats, and it also helps you detect if you've eaten something poisonous and you spit it out. But this F-initialed word that is often confused with taste is all about how your other senses like smell and taste help you to sense it. F-initialed, that is like taste.
Flavor?
Flavor, that's it. Yeah, flavor is different from taste. You were listening to everything I said. That buzzer says our game is over. It's been a good one. I'm really proud of all these people, these young people here, because we had some tough questions. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment. Don't go away. Welcome back. A great way to start our elementary competition in this new school year. As I was saying before we took the break, these were some tough questions, but did you notice how well these young people came up with answers? We're proud of them, and let's give everybody a round of applause. Super job here today. Our final tally, boy, you came back 130 to 180. Northview 130. Congratulations to Emily and Glenda and Michelle, looking fine in those coats. And Tyler's looking very serious back there. Tyler and also Ryan, congratulations to you. Please come back and play the game again if you have the chance. And Mrs. Grove and Mr. Moffat, thank you for always supporting us so much. And Scotchtown Hills, congratulations to Fiona and Annie and Chase. You're going to come back and play again. They're smiling so much. Look at that. They can't help themselves. And Rhea is over there. And who else we have? Jacob. Jacob is back there. And Miss Harvey and Miss Taylor, thank you. You guys are matching up there too. We hope to see you next time in another edition of Science Bowl. I'm Dave Zarin. Till then, bye-bye.